This anime definitely speaks to me a decent amount since I've definitely been up late as hell working on these videos. Kou and Nazuna is one of those shows with a really good underlying message, but also has a great main story intertwined with it so that it holds the interest. It's a really chill anime and it's a much needed switch up from all the thought-provoking stuff that I've been watching recently because nigga, my brain has been working. It provided a much needed break for my brain and it gave me a mostly chill and relatable experience. It's a beautiful take on insomnia and a nightlife, and I really enjoyed the lax approach they took to the underlying message. The main story is very interesting too. It's building a bunch of excitement for it, so pull up a chair, let's talk about it. But before we get into it, as always, man, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more anime analysis and review videos just like this one. So, you know how we do things right here. First, we start off with the story. The story is pretty good. It's pretty straightforward at the beginning, but it layers on different plot points while not abandoning the main theme, but always connecting back to that main theme to remind the viewer of its importance to the whole show. Our story follows a boy named Kou, who's grown tired of the life during the daytime. Bored of school, he stops going and sneaks out during the nighttime simply because he feels free during the night. One night he's buying a drink at this vending machine and this girl appeared out of damn near thin air. Drawing his interest, he decides to kick it with her since she seems very experienced in the nightlife. Later on, he goes to her place and finds out that she's a vampire, so it makes sense that she's knowledgeable about the nightlife and she's so good at it. He decides that he wants to join her and become a vampire as well, but there's a problem. He has to fall in love with her and Kou has no idea how to love or hate something. As he grows closer to Nazuna, which is the vampire, he's trying to figure out how to love. Hey, how to love. That's pretty much the basis of the story. I really like the underlying message in the anime. I'm not gonna lie, it's something that I vibe with a lot. The whole message of the show is basically about enjoying the nighttime in your own way and making the most of it. Everyone has something mundane that they don't want to do, and that's why it's so important to make sure you do something fun during the night. And they show that there's different ways to do this. Kou and Nazuna go on walks, fly around, and hang out during the night. I do most of my creating at night, whether I'm making a video or making music. It honestly feels best at night time when it comes to creating for me. Whatever your nighttime activity is, whether it's going to the gym, walking around the city, just be safe. And I ain't just say go out there and walk around at 3 a.m. and lack. Nah, you're not getting that advice from me, gangster. Just be safe and have fun doing it. I think that's what Call of the Night is telling us. I also like Nazuna's philosophy on sleep too. She said that people don't sleep until they're satisfied with their day, and I really felt that. I often find myself up at like 4 a.m. struggling to sleep when I know that there's something that I could be doing to make me a better me. That's why when I get inspiration at night, I often don't sleep until morning because I want to act on it so I can feel satisfied into the fact that I did something. I really vibe with the initial approach to the story in general. They're genuinely learning stuff about each other while going on these little adventures and even getting other people involved in their nightlife. And it's giving them an escape so they can have fun, even if it's only temporary. During this part of the story, it's really mostly about the vibes and it's pretty relaxed. Niggas was even over Nazuna's crib playing Alpha 3. And you know, that made my nerdy ass cheese hard as hell. There's actually a couple of great plot twists in this show, which is surprising because this show doesn't seem like it would have any plot twists in it at first. And these plot twists add some really interesting conflicts for the future. I like the twist that they introduced later on, revealing that there are more vampires and giving them an actual time limit on turning Kou into a vampire himself. The twist that Aki's mother is a detective, I think that's his mother, and she's trying to kill all the vampires is really cool too. Finding out that she knew so much about Kou and his dreams while low-key revealing this conflict between humans and vampires set up some really interesting future plot elements. The ending was really satisfying too, because it wasn't rushed. They're definitely setting up for a season 2, but they did give us a bit of closure on Kou and Nazuna's situation. They even gave us a little sweet scene with them meeting at the exact same vending machine that they met at in the first episode. Completely reversing the roles too, giving it a little cool little twist. I really like the story in the show so far. I really like the direction they're going in as well. I really hope this gets a season 2, because what they gave us in season 1 was easily consumable, and I definitely got a really good amount of enjoyment out of it. Now, let's move on to the characters and the character interactions. The characters are pretty great in this show. Since this is a slice of life, technically, we get to see a decent amount of them, and I really enjoyed all of them. So let's run through a few. Kou is a really well-rounded main character. He's super realistic, but he's really caring at the same time. So sometimes you see those traits creating eternal conflict. He questions becoming a vampire after seeing that one in the school, seeing that it almost killed Akira, and worried him into thinking that could end up being him in the future. But at the same time, he wants to fall in love with Nazuna, and he also doesn't want to get his shit pushed back by the other vampires. I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga just popped up as a vampire one of these days, because if he is in love with Nazuna now, now, he's damn near close as hell. I think he really closely associates the nightlife with her at this point. And over time, I think that in his brain that the night has gotten less significance, not only because he's used to the nightlife at this point, but because also Nazuna has become a person that's so important to him that it doesn't matter when they spend the time together. It just matters as long as they do spend the time together. He just wants to be by her side because by her side is the best place for him to be in his mind. Kou could have been turned into a vampire a while ago, and he's even had second thoughts about it at this point. But in the end, he wants to go at his own pace and fall in love with her no matter what obstacles in the way. I like how he's kind of acting like the bridge between the human and the vampires now too. He has so much experience with both, so it'll only make sense that he is like the bridge between the two. Kou's a pretty solid dude. I really like his character. Nazuna is really cool too. She's super fun and energetic, but she has a really hard time talking about her feelings. It seems like she doesn't even want to process her own feelings sometimes too. She's way less vocal about her feelings, but you can kind of tell that she's feeling Kou. You can kind of tell. It's pretty clear during certain moments too. Like when Akira asked Kou to go back to school with her, she got up and stormed out just because it took him a little while to answer. Not to mention how she just be protecting this nigga from the other vampires so much. She's really genuine down to the core. She just has a hard time vocalizing her feelings and emotions. That's why you see her blushing hard as hell anytime people talk about love. I like how they're both in a I'm working on it type state, showing that they're going to continue going on their own pace, and they really plan on making it work. She's grown a lot throughout this whole season too, and it's cool to see her progress into putting more effort into Kou. She definitely kind of had to, otherwise it was going to smoke that nigga, but I don't think that was her sole point of motivation. She actually fuck with him for real. Nazuna's a really great character. I really like all the vampires too, and I hope we get to see more episodes centering around them individually like they did with Seri. Although Nico thinks that humans and vampires can't coexist, it seems like that's not a unanimous opinion. Since we've seen Seri turn Aki into a vampire so he didn't have to die, and seeing Hasuka showing Kou that he doesn't have any immediate interest in killing him. I like the concept of them, and I'm really interested to see how the conflict unfolds with that detective and how the other vampires are going to develop as characters. The other characters are cool too. Akira is really cool and understanding of Kou. She thought that his dream was ridiculous at first, but after spending time with him and Nazuna, I think she understands and fully respects his decision. Mahiru is really cool too. He just seen the danger firsthand. He really wants Kou to think it over, and he really wants the best for his homie, so you really just gotta respect it. The detective seemed like she's gonna be the main antagonist figure, so I'm really interested in seeing her side of the story unfold, especially considering that Aki's a vampire now. They did a really good job with the cast, and shout out to all the voice actors, man. Great performances across the board. Now let's move over to looks, presentation, and music. I'm not gonna lie, I really like how this show looks. This show is about the nighttime, so they really emphasize how beautiful the night really can be. The scenes where Kou and Nazuna just flying around are really gorgeous and extremely relaxing. They did a really amazing job at showing how beautiful the night can truly be. It's so colorful. You can tell they put some real effort into the visuals of this show. Shout out to Leiden Films on their work on this. The music is pretty great too. I like the song they play during the flying sequences, and the intro song is actually really good. There's no shortage of good music in this show, so shout out to all the artists and the audio team that worked on this too. Overall, I think Call of the Night was a really amazing show that builds up a lot of interest, and I hope that it gets a second season because there's a lot of potential here, and I really want to see the conclusion to this story. I thought this was going to be a sweet little slice of life show that I didn't have to think about that much, but it ended up having a decent amount of depth in this story. And I still enjoyed the vibey part in the beginning before they even put all those pieces in play as well. This probably isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I thought it was pretty great, and I definitely think it deserves more love. So if you feeling open-minded or if you like slice of life, I would definitely go check this out. But that's all for me, man. As always, man, have a great day. Love y'all, man. Peace. So after watching Call of the Night for the first time a couple years back, my only real concern that I had was like, how are they gonna keep the show with like a fresh direction wise, like moving forward, you feel me? If you really think about it, majority of season 1 was just like establishing Kou and Nazuna's relationship type shit. And while introducing like the concept of vampires and establishing that Kou wants to be one, while kind of having this kind of like disconnected animated sitcom randomness to it, while also sprinkling in the beauty of doing all these things at night. We know obviously that these niggas want to get into a relationship and they need to learn how to do so, but is that alone enough to hold like a young nigga interest for a full season? I'm not gonna lie, hell yeah. Like what the am I talking about? I love this show. I'm gonna watch this shit regardless. But I could see the reason if someone wanted more who was watching this. And after watching season 2, more is exactly what they gave us. So let's talk about it. The intro sequence to the second season was pretty fire to start off. The animators really put their best foot forward and really showed you the most beautiful part about this show immediately, which was these like crazy little cinematic shots of them doing shit in the nighttime. The city looks so beautiful. I know I talked about this a little bit in my last video about this show, but my nigga, this shit still looks crazy to me. This reminds me of like the beauty of like downtown Chicago, walking around at 3 a.m. just taking in the sights of the big city type shit. I wish my neighborhood looked this cool at night. Nigga, I'd just go outside and stare at the sky, no doubt. These white people gonna be looking at me through the cracks of their blinds like I'm some kind of Harambe exhibit, my nigga. Niggas like, what the f is he doing? But anyway, the callback to the 3 drunk people from the beginning of season 1 was cool to see. And let's talk about the best part. These niggas in this whole playing Third Strike, bro. I heard the little beginning part. I think that was Yoon stage. I think that's who it is. And I was like, hold on, for these niggas no ball. One thing I know and one thing I love is retro gaming. So seeing this shit just thrown in is just like cool. Like, as they did it just for the f of it. It's just super cool to see shit like this. Salute to you niggas, real shit. The rest of the vampires try to get some little gossip material from Kou about his relationship with Nazuna type shit. And Nazuna go clothes shop with Hasuka. I think it's her name, or their name, or his name. This is a cool little slick way to reintroduce us to all of them and reintroduce us to like really the main problem being that Nazuna has to make Kou fall in love and Kou having to figure out what love is and how to feel it. What is some real shit? Wait, is those Ricks, nigga? Hold on, motherfucker got the drip in this bitch. Motherfuckers got the drip in this. So they link up and slide to Tokyo, and I think the main reason that they go to Tokyo is because Nazuna likes it, but when she went exploring and experiencing the city by herself made her feel lonely since it's such a big city. During this little link up, they actually have a pretty interesting debate on like hookup culture, like in the morality of it. Nazuna gives Kou an interesting hypothetical because Kou said like the hookup culture thing was immoral through and through. She actually gives him a pretty like interesting hypothetical. She says like, what if a strictly physical relationship turns into something romantic, and is it still considered immoral if that was the root of it and that's how it started? And they're talking about it just because that's basically what their relationship is, since for vampires, sucking blood covers nourishment and sexual desires technically. Me, personally, I don't think hookup culture is immoral at all. Do whatever the f you want. As long as you keep it consensual, you ain't out here burning niggas, and you steering clear kids, I don't care. Shit really ain't my business otherwise. And if you ain't following those rules, I'm wishing eternal switches on you weird ass niggas. I'm just gonna say that. And my take is pretty much the same take that Nazuna has. The first episode is really about developing these two, and that's kind of like a good place to start. I forgot all about Kou homie talking to a vampire on the low, and I low-key thought shorty ass was about to fry Kou shit for knowing that she was a vampire type shit. And Kou was low-key thinking the same shit, folks. Shit was looking kind of spooky. I mean, folk, look at how she walked him down after that simple suggestion, folk. Yeah, pants, shit it in, nigga. This is one of the subplots of the show. So long story short, Kou and his homie end up linking with a couple of the male vampire members, and they go to a bathhouse and they just give the nigga the rundown and like the lore of like the vampires and shit. But at the end of episode 2, that's where shit really get juking, folks. Cause guess who was behind the damn desk at that bathhouse, nigga? Miss Vampire K, Alucard K, Dracula K, defined as detective herself, folks. The way they did this little confrontation scene was raw as hell. I'm not gonna lie. This scene made the detective feel super menacing. And the way they were kind of building her up, it made me feel like, oh, these niggas are actually in danger of getting smoked for real. Last season, we seen the detective say that she was gonna kill all the vampires. We didn't see a real deal confrontation, if I remember it right. Bro, when shorty flash stepped in front of Akun with those glasses and got the jab in that nigga with that knife, I was like, yo, fuck! Like, fuck, this smoking this nigga, fuck. This scene did 2 things for me. It showed that the detective was dead ass, and it showed that vampires actually have some kind of weakness, and that weakness is an item from their human past. Not all that bullshit I was talking about that direction, this is the new direction. They all have to find their past items before the detective catches a major amount of hats. This is a real slick way to do the backstory and the origin story of all the vampires, including Nazuna and shit. But out of all the vampires, Nazuna has 0 memory of who turned her for real. I forgot what led them to the hospital. I think it was a patient ID card and like a wallet or some shit. But Nazuna's backstory points to this fellow vampire that's shown concern for her in the past named Kabura. And I'm not gonna lie, her backstory sucks, nigga. Like, this shit is wild. She in a pretty shit position. So they revealed that Nazuna had a mother named Haru that looks exactly like her. And then they actually had a pretty good relationship, and it seemed very intimate, and they actually were, to the point where Haru turned Kabura. So this is treacherous. So after she turned her, Haru went to go get married to a nigga and basically abandoned her and went to go have a kid with said nigga. That being, the kid being Nazuna. Then Shorty died and had the nerve to ask Kabura to help look after the kid and care for her. This shit's so disrespectful, nigga. I'm not gonna lie, folks. That's like if your girl cheated on you and had another nigga drop some dick off, and got her pregnant, and she asking you to raise the baby. And the worst part about it is she actually did the shit. Like, that, the shit blows my mind that she actually did it, folks. I couldn't imagine being in the shoes of anyone in this situation, but the show does a real good job of conveying how like irritated she was and how she was like laughing and crying because she knew how f***ed up this situation was. And when she first seen her, she looked exactly like her, folks. Just a cigarette burn in the wound type shit. Imagine you decided to raise that baby from the hypothetical situation that I said earlier, and it's a little girl that looks exactly like the girl that cheated. That shit is painful, folks. She shit in her diaper and she just reminded you of that shit while crying. She like, "Wham, nigga, yo bitch got took, nigga. Wham, nigga." Change this diaper from this kid that ain't yours, nigga. Wham, nigga. Good job, stepdad. Wham, nigga. Relive that pain, nigga. Wham, nigga. Like, and I think Nazuna understands the situation too, but I think that even in this horrific ass situation, I think Kabura has like, developed a motherly love for Nazuna, which is painful and f***ed up when you realize the underlying details. But I guess you can call that a positive type shit. Like, there's something positive to take out this situation. I think in between the hospital and the school sequence, I think that's where they met that nigga Love. And I'm not gonna lie, for Love, you funny as hell. But that anime body pillow in the corner of his room pretty much told me everything I need to know about my nigga. Fuck. This nigga fits every anime nigga stereotype available. I know he a My Hero fan. I know for a fact he is. This whole sequence was about finding anything that could have made him vulnerable to the detective plan and shit. And it was a fun watch. Not too much to talk about here because I really want to just stick to the main conflict, but this was great. I ain't gonna lie, don't skip this. This is really good. I'm gonna call this whole last shit the school sequence, and my nigga, this shit was fire, nigga. So I'm guessing that Nazuna attended night school where Nico was teaching at, and she made her first human friend here. And her name is Mejiro. And I'm not gonna lie, the way they did this shit was so raw. So they go through her whole backstory, and I should have put 2 and 2 together when she put that detective coat on, but I wasn't really thinking about that in the moment. So long story short, they explained that Nazuna and Mejiro thought that Mejiro's father was cheating, and him cheating was kind of destroying their family type shit. So they don't find much, but Nazuna ends up attempting to turn Mejiro. But that same night, which is some crazy ass timing by the way, her father comes home and end up like apologizing and like turning over a new leaf type shit. So you would think this is a good thing, right? Hell no. That nigga tweaks out and turns into a vampire and like an uncontrollable, like from season 1, he turns into one of them and smokes her mother, and then Mejiro ends up having to smoke her own father herself. But at the end of this, they show her holding up her father's glasses in her hand, and I seen that they had like round lenses, and I realized, I was like, damn, I realized who it was. Right before a nigga could even say Eureka, they cut to the present day, and the detective pulled up. Nigga, this shit was fire, boy. Like, this was some crazy good ass storytelling, my nigga. And they didn't even let up from here because the tension was super high. The tensions were high as shit. Watching this shit week by week was hell, for like pure hell, because I'm pretty sure the episode ended right here where the detective pulled up, and that shit was infuriating, my nigga. So apparently Nazuna had this hunch that the detective was Mejiro all along, and she didn't say it because she didn't want to believe it necessarily. So Halloween night hit, and this is the night that the detective was planning on like executing her plan to get rid of all the vampires. So I was in this bitch fiending for, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to see how this played out. The funny thing is, I think Nico said some shit like she won't do nothing too crazy in front of a crowd of people, and then you fast forward to Halloween night and her first move is walking up on her ass. What did Boogie say? Balenciaga wearing ass nigga, hoodied up with a mask nigga, and blick that shit in front of a whole crowd. That shit was funny as hell, folks. Then her ass pulled up on Sari for and blicked her ass too, folks. But there was something strange about what she was doing, because obviously if shooting these niggas was enough, this whole ordeal wouldn't have been that complicated. Like, this would be pretty much simple for her. So what was she planning to do type shit? And she was really like poking the bear and running away. Then she pulled up to that same literature room that she met Nazuna in. Nazuna was in there waiting for her. Then the fucking episode ended again. Like, bro, I hate you. I hate these cliffhangers, bro. Solo leveling all over again. Kou kind of suspected something was up too, but he was keen on like keeping her alive because she wanted her and Nazuna to be cool again. But shit, when you cut back to them two when they was at that school, shit didn't look like it was a possibility because Nazuna was legit trying to end her shit. I mean, look at this shit, folks. Shorty has launched a whole soccer net at her shit. I ain't never seen nobody do that shit. But when Kou got there, the scene was raw. That nigga was cold right there, folks. Cause he stood 10 toes even when Medro was standing over him with the gun up. And he revealed what her real plan was right in front of Nazuna and shit. Her scheme this whole time was trying to like get killed by a vampire to show the world of their existence, theoretically making people stop going out at night and meaning that there will be no one to feed on, also meaning that all the vampires will die eventually from starvation. And even if it was far-fetched, she still wanted to die in the effort of trying to get rid of them. Kou knew that like after like she got stopped and they stopped her plans and they, you know, they didn't kill her type shit. They knew that wasn't the end of all this shit, folks, because Medro obviously didn't want to be here anymore type shit. So they blitzed that literature room and they go to stop her and they go to stop her from doing you know what. And the struggle, this nigga Kou gets shot and then they end the episode again, folks. Like, these niggas sick. I hate you niggas, bro. Then they show what happened after she shot him. And it looked like Kou actually turned into a vampire for a second, which was pretty cool. The conversation between Kou and the detective in the hospital was kind of beautiful in a sense. I think this was like Kou really like talking her off the ledge that she was about to jump off of. Cause she felt that her life been a waste up until this point. But she's like only 28 years old. Kou like reminds her like, hey nigga, you young as hell. Like, what the fuck? Like, and she ended up getting cheered up by the nigga because he's so positive about this whole situation, even though she ended up shooting this nigga. The aftermath of this whole arc was so good, bro. It gave us a direction moving forward too. So they got what they wanted. So Kou, Nazuna, and Medro ended up hanging out, and it feels like they have her as a friend now, which was pretty cool. I think she passes out in Nazuna's apartment and they take a step outside while she was sleeping. But I know I wasn't the only one that was thinking like this. Was anybody else like concerned when they left her alone, folks? I was like, yo, can you niggas like fly over there and check on her real quick, folks? I thought like they was gonna do some Akane from Oshinoko type shit. I thought when they came back, she was gonna be standing over that balcony ready to end it all still. But thankfully, that wasn't the case. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that shit was about to be sad as hell. I'm like, yo, please go check on her, folks. But the direction that they decided to go in was super cool too. Kou said that he wanted to find the vampire that turned Medro's dad. And I think that's really selfless and it really falls in line with his character. It falls in line with Kou's morals and it's uncovering one of the many mysteries in the show still. There's still a lot of questions to be answered in this shit. Like, why did Kou turn into a vampire for half a second? What does that mean? And if that shows that he's capable of turning, then why didn't he fully turn in that moment? Who is that girl that was staring at him in Nico's class? Yeah, I seen that. Who was that? There's still a lot of shit to look forward to in this show. And after this season, I genuinely have zero worries when it comes to them executing it. Call of the Night is still goated, and I can't wait to see what they have for us in season 3. But anyway, that's all from me, man. As always, man, I hope you niggas have a great day, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.